Okay, so we are live for the very first weekday number one, and your microphone is muted. And I'm Linda, and this is my partner
Thomas.
Thomas. And this is our first sort of just exploring generative AI inside of ComfyUI and different pipelines. And we are recording this, so if anybody will be popping in, you know that this will be recorded, and maybe we will put this online later. We'll see what happens with that. But the idea is to share what we're working on and to also sort of generate live inside of Comfy, and to explore pipelines and Comfy UI.
Yes.
So we have this project, this Valentine's project that we want to show you, and maybe you should share your screen, Thomas, and we can show you how it all started. I mean, the idea was to sort of create something around Valentine's and do that, and also at the same time show the possibilities with both generative AI and also using open source AI models when we generate, and the Comfy UI, and the level of control and the level of sort of the amount of generations you can do when you compare to using a premium or a closed source AI model, like, for instance, Google's Nano Banana or anybody, well, any other. So what we did, here you can see some Comfy workflows in the background.
Yeah, we can take a look at some of the outputs and also the inputs. So we started this project with the graphical icon of a heart. We have it here in white. We have a version with the red color, and then we decided to, since we wanted to become a 3D version of this heart and to apply different textures, we first generated a 3D version of this heart. So this is like the base of everything in this project.
Yeah, and I can just say that the heart shape of the heart is in itself. I made it. Well, I made it in Affinity, so that's sort of the only thing in this project so far, besides the logo that we're not going to show today, but the only thing that isn't AI generated. So we created the image of the heart to sort of create the shape of a heart, and also the color of the red color that we wanted to use.
Yeah. So this is the white 3D version of the heart. We also generated red 3D versions of the same heart. So this is the generated one, the first one, and this just like we removed the background also with AI.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, the red heart there was several red hearts that we generated, and then we picked this one. So it's not just, give me a red heart and you pick the first one. It often is a lot of different, you need a lot of variations, and then you find the one that sort of resonates with you.
Yes, especially with the open source models, you need to generate a lot of different versions before you find what you like.
Yeah, but that is also the sort of the unique thing, and the thing I like is that you don't have to settle, or you don't have to, it's more of a selection. You're more of a creative director or whatever, that you pick the one that really feels right for you. And if you don't, I mean, of course you can sort of generate a lot of them in using a closed source AI model, but that's going to cost quite a lot. And this is a better solution for that.
Yeah. And one of the next steps we did was create different textures. So we wanted to create textures separately and then apply them to the heart. So these are a few of the different textures that we generated. We wanted to focus mainly on hard surfaces that we could break in different ways later in the project. And the way we created this like library of materials is in Comfy. And we sort of broke down what is a texture. There are some things that are true for all textures, and then there are very, very specific details describing a texture. So we had a prompt system that we created. So we had the base prompt that basically gave the AI the instructions. This is true for every type of material. And this is the general base prompt. We have a positive prompt, this is what you should do. And the negative prompt is focusing on what you definitely should not do. And then we broke down the materials in 15 different parameters. We have depth type, we have surface roughness, material type, surface preset, surface age, surface variation, and surface scale. And then we also have color information. So we have different color modes, color families, color variation, color intensity, color temperature. And finally we have a few last parameters that are pattern type, tileability, and also the PBR intent, which is basically what are we going to use the texture for. And some of these things are like, actually this is not specific for this project, this is a way to build the texture library in any way. And then we have this, the first part, this is basically just presets. So we can create different presets, and all of these presets have a different value for each of the parameter. So we created, like for this project, we just made a few, I think 6 different presets that we wanted to generate. That means we had one value, one index for each of the parameters. So a 1, for instance, in depth type it means very subtle surface relief, for instance. So all of these presets and parameters, they are combined in different ways. All of the 3 different types of parameters are combined here. So that they're creating a prompt basically of the general parts, positive and negative, and all of the specific parts. And then it creates the prompt that goes into the generation, which is when with images it's Quen. We use a model called Quen image 25 to 11 for editing.
Yeah. And I mean, when I see this, I can imagine people thinking like, wow, that looks a bit over the top for creating materials. But the thing is that you can actually sort of be in control more, and also define like details and generate, like you said, a whole library. If you just want one material, I mean, then you can maybe probably go directly and generate that. But if you want to build something more broader, I guess this is, or why would you say this is necessary to have these kind of prompt system behind?
I think the 2 things is it's control and it's the ability to batch generate. So you could say, okay, I want these 6 presets or 25 presets or whatever, and I want to have 1,000 materials. Then you can just put in 1,000 and you hit run, and it's going to generate 1,000 materials for you.
Yeah, that's amazing if you want a material library that you then can sort of generate on top of things. And this is, now we're going to show you a few hard materials or soil and things like that. But it could be, I guess you can do this for textiles or whatever kind of material. Also materials that aren't really materials, maybe like, I don't know, other things that you don't use in the real world, like more fantasy.
Yeah. The idea is to have like a few parameters that could describe any type of texture.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. So we generated a bunch of materials, and we selected a few of those, and then we sort of the next step was to generate those materials on top of that sort of basic 3D white 3D heart that we had generated after the heart logo, and then they became like this. So the sort of asphalt material looked like that. Well, one of the ones that we picked, and you can show a few of the others, just the images, just to see how the heart shapes sort of.
This is another one.
Concrete one.
Yeah. We have soil, earth and soil, and ice.
Yeah.
And we have
Those
a
are the
stone.
one and the marble stone.
Yeah. And we have a lot more, but these are like the ones we're going to show today. And then we have also created videos from these images. This is the first clip. So it's just like a beating heart. And in this one, we have used a type of generation called first frame, last frame. We knew that we wanted to start with one exact frame and end with this exact frame and beat during a period of like 4 seconds. So we wanted the exact same start frame and stop frame.
Yeah. So we use all of those images that we showed you, and we created the different beats.
Yeah. So these are a few variations I can show you in Comfy.
Yeah, and some of them already had cracks on them, which is sort of, then you can see the cracks opening, and some of them don't have cracks, like this one, for instance, the marble one and the ice one, and then the heart just beats. So it's kind of cool to see the differences in these, depending on the texture that we've applied to the heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next step. So now we have the first sort of generated video sequence, and then we wanted the sort of ending sequence of our Valentine's project for the different hearts. And that was to actually to sort of make it disclose, you said, sort of to show the warm and loving and red heart underneath in some way, either crush, like break it, or crumble, or unfold, or it depends on the heart, the material of the heart. So we started to generate different versions of the heart, going from the solid material heart to the actual warm red loving heart. And let's see if we can look at some of those.
Yeah, I was just going to show this is what we built for the first frame, last frame. Actually, we're using first frame, last frame for both of these clips, for the beating part to start and end with the same frame. And then we're also using first frame, last frame to go from the covered heart to the revealed heart. And this part what you see here right now is basically just loading images from 2 different folders. One folder containing the first image and one folder containing the last image. So we don't have to like process one image at a time. We can take a whole folder and say this is the first frame and this is the last frame. And it also picks or extracts the file name from these folders so that you can see the file name of the resulting video contains both of these names, so you can easily find it. And this also creates a structure based on what day it is, and it creates folders based on the day, month, and year. So you can also always have a good way of saving your images. And this part is what does the actual generation. So it takes each image, the first image, last image, and then processes it here with the first frame, last frame. But this model is part of the WAN family, WAN.
Yeah, so it's also an open source AI model, and which makes it more, well, how do you say, more we can control more scalable.
Yeah, so we could have like folders of 1,000 images and just let it go to work, basically. And this is the same pipeline basically for both of the different types of clips. So I think we have shown all the first the beating heart parts. Yeah. And now we are in the process of generating the next clip for this video, which is the reveal part.
Yeah.
So we generated a bunch of these yesterday, and we need to basically just go through them.
Yeah,
And
we can
see.
look at some of them, and then we can also try to generate a few and see, because the idea is, like I said, depending on what material we have, we want to sort of create different ways for the red heart to reveal itself. That was that the wallpaper, or?
It's the wallpaper, yes. So
Yeah,
it's supposed to like unfold.
that would actually be really cool if that one would sort of, like a wallpaper that actually falls down, like these two. I don't know if that's possible, but that it
Yeah,
actually becomes like a wallpaper that falls down in front of the heart. Because
yeah,
now it feels more like a, I don't know, any type of material that sort of opens up.
yeah,
But I guess it would be interesting. I mean, the wallpaper, we only have one material generated. I mean, this, you can create a lot of wallpaper materials if you want, but that's not really the focus of this project. It's more about natural materials. So
yeah,
maybe we shouldn't focus on that one this specific time, but I think that would be a cool effect.
yeah. Okay, well, we can return to that one. We'll just so these two are the unfolding ones, the wallpaper and the leather.
Yeah. So the leather
This is
one, I mean, that's
yeah,
actually a natural material, but I like a soft. That looks more like a chocolate sort of paper opening up or something.
yeah, yeah.
But I guess, I mean, what would be cool, how to reveal the heart from leather? Maybe it would be sort of either peeling off, more of a, I'm thinking more in the front, like something peels off, not like a paper that opens up a box of chocolates, but more of a something unfolds like a bit softer, maybe like falls a bit softer. Maybe
Yeah.
we should try to, what do you think? Which one should we try to generate now? Like the leather one, or the ice
Yeah,
one is kind of cool also.
the easiest would be to since if I look at the folders we have in Comfy right now in RunPod is the leather one and the wallpaper one, so they would be easiest to
So
work
now we
with.
have another guest in our live stream. Yay, that's great. So let's continue. Welcome, and this is recorded. So just so you know. Anyway, so what we're doing is we're looking at this heart project that we've created, and we're inside Comfy, and Thomas is showing us how to. The next step of our Valentine's project is to generate a clip where the shape of the heart that has got some sort of a material around it, this is the end heart, and that's sort of one of the materials, the leather heart, and then we got like a wallpaper heart, or we got the stone concrete heart, and well, many different kinds of hearts that we have generated in lots of steps to get there that we're not going to go through again, but and now we need to look at the actual reveal part and how to make it look good in the next step. So which one should we focus on now, do you think, Thomas? Which
We
one
could
is
try we have the wallpaper and the leather. There's the same type, but we have the textures on the server. So
let's focus on the leather then, because I think that's a little bit more fun and creative.
okay,
The other one is a bit pale.
okay.
um,
Then
okay,
we'll go
so
to
let's go to
so we'll do
Comfy.
just the leather one.
What? I didn't hear you.
Are we going to focus on the leather one?
Yes,
Okay,
let's do
so
that.
I'm going to remove um, the wallpaper one from the folder. So this is like the structure we have for this project. We have the first frame, which is just one frame or one image right now, and the last frame is also just one image. But this is a way to like work with large batches of images. So that's why we're using this method. Okay, so we want to change. They're basically, if you work with one, you have two different ways. You could do like the fast way and the slow way, and sometimes the fast way works just fine. Right now we're focusing on it. It means we're using LoRa to make it a lot faster,
And what is a LoRa, just to explain that quickly?
LoRa is like a fine tuning basically of a model, so it can do different things. It could steer the generation towards a different style, but this LoRa right here is a LoRa to make a good enough image faster, basically.
Okay.
So this means we can generate a lot faster, like seconds instead of minutes, basically.
If you have any questions, just write in the chat, and I'll make sure to ask Thomas if there's anything.
Yes. And also when we do this first generations, we're doing it quite with a low resolution to make it faster. I lock in a look and then we'll generate it bigger. So this is just 640 times 360, but it counts up. These models are not exact when it comes to resolution, so it's going to be 368. Okay, so we can look at the prompt. We have a heart-shaped object made of a hard, solid material. Actually, this is a sort of like a standard prompt we used for a lot of materials, but this material isn't actually hard. So we could change this to a soft material. It's beating like a real human heart, faster and faster. The object suddenly expands and contracts rhythmically. Surface details slightly shift during expansion and return during contraction. Heavy solid structure preserved. This is not what we want. We want to have a soft structure preserved. Rigid materials, not really anymore. Soft material properties maintained. No deformation of shape beyond natural pulse. I think bending and twisting is actually okay because this is a soft material, so we'll just remove that. Dark background remains static. Loop perfectly back to original shape. Subtle realistic motion. We have a red core starts to give red lights. This is actually more for the eyes.
So what we want here is to say something about how we want the leather to sort of unfold.
Yeah, so this is quite generic right now. The leather gets unfolded to reveal the red heart in the last image. So we could, for instance, try to instruct it to get unfolded in a certain direction.
Yeah, maybe in the front, like sort of unfold.
Like, should it be unfolded like downwards, upwards, to the side?
I was thinking downwards, sort of like you peel it, like a banana. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do peel as well as unfolded.
Yeah. Maybe not use the word banana because then it's gonna go crazy, but peel it in maybe like stripes or lines, or do we need to sort of instruct it in a more defined way, or maybe otherwise maybe we'll just peel it in one. It could be cool if we just use one big, if all of the leather gets peeled off, because that's sort of more realistic, I guess. Leather isn't like a banana, so maybe that's the best way to sort of peel it off, the whole of the leather, sort of. Yeah. Try that.
Actually, how do you spell peel? Is it EA or
E-E-double-E? I guess. I'm thinking of peeling.
peel downwards? Yeah, okay.
From
So
Fortnite.
the leather gets peeled downwards in a big chunk or piece.
Yeah, the whole piece maybe of the heart, the leather.
Yeah.
Are you instructing it? Like, are you using the word leather here, or should it be more generic so we can use it for several different kind of materials? Or
right now we could get quite specific, I think.
Okay. Let's try that and see how it works. Okay, so the model is an open source model called 1, right? 2.2 or?
Yes, 2.2.
Yes. And
like I said, we're doing it really low res and with the LoRa to make it as fast as possible.
Yeah. And usually it takes about, and you also instructed it in how many seconds the output should be, right?
Actually, yes and no. So like the parameters you have is number of frames, which is the number of images, and then you have the frames per second. Then you sort of like calculate. I want to do like 4 seconds. That's basically like 97 frames if you do 24 frames per second.
Okay. And these generations take around how long time usually?
So the first one is always takes more time because it needs to load the model, and the next generation is a lot faster. So let's see.
But what can you sort of, the output can become more than one directly now, so we don't have to sort of do it one by one?
Yeah, we can do as many. I just did one right now because if you do a batch of like 10, you're not going to see each image at a time. You're going to see them when they're done.
Okay.
So that's why I thought we could do one at a time. But we
Yeah.
could say, okay, generate 1,000, but it's going to take a lot of time.
But it's always good, I guess, if you're exploring, to find, like, try a few ones and then see, okay, this is the way we want to go. And then if you find that way, then you can sort of generate more to get several different ones to choose from.
Yeah.
So you don't generate if you don't have to. I mean, we don't use unnecessary. Okay.
Yeah. So this took
then we have one.
115 seconds, the first generation. Now we have one. Let's see what it looks like in low resolution.
Can we zoom in or
speeding?
I mean, it's a small video, but it looks kind of good, I think, right? I mean, I can't see it in a close-up, but it's a little bit like a Kinder egg, like chocolate, maybe. I'm not sure about how the actual leather like unfolds. Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like leather underneath, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't really break, but that's why we told it to do it in one piece.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like ripped off.
Anybody have got any suggestions on what we should do? You're free to write it in the chat or in the Discord that I also have got.
I can do a few more generations with the same to just.
Yeah, try. Should we change the prompt or should we just try one or two more? Or maybe, I mean, like you said, do we want it to be a bit more like cracking, like it breaks a little bit, or because we didn't say that, right?
We said one piece, so basically it shouldn't
exactly.
rip apart.
So maybe we should not do it in one piece then. Maybe we should sort of make it crack in the middle and then unfold like in two pieces. Maybe that's more effective.
This is the next one. It's the same prompt. Sometimes you prompt just to really see what is going on.
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, even though leather isn't easy in real life to actually rip apart, I guess it's still a bit more effective, right? If we do some sort of breakage kind of effect.
Yeah. So the leather layer gets peeled downwards or ripped downwards.
Maybe sort of in the middle, if we just have one sort of, if it rips in one, like two pieces. So we don't get like a lot of, not like the other ones that are sort of torn apart. This one is more of a, yeah, one, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
One crack.
Right, yeah.
I mean, because we already have the asphalt and we have the concrete, and we also tried. So do we want to, or should we, maybe should we try another one just to see another totally different kind of material? Do you need to write the whole prompt from the start? Like, let's say if we would want to do the ice one.
Yeah, I need to upload the ice texture then first.
Okay. Yeah, we have, maybe we don't have time for that right now, but because we need to sort of wrap things up soon. But the idea here is to, like, we're going to show this project soon, like hopefully later today, with all the different hearts and the beating, and we put it together in, well, probably in film editing program, but I mean, I guess it's always tricky to put them together directly in Comfy because most likely you might want to edit a little bit, but I mean, you could put them together, right? In a
you can.
You can. Yeah. So we have, what we have left is, well, we have a lot of heart beatings that is already finished. Now we have the peeling off to the warm, loving heart. And then we have a sort of outro at the end that you will see later. when we put it out online, which is sort of the going from the warm red heart to an actual graphic logo, which is something you also can do sort of cool, well, to go between different types of images. And that's sort of a little bit what we wanted to show you using advanced, like we talked about in the beginning, how to create a material library of thousands of materials. In this case, we're focused on ice, stone, asphalt, soil, etc. And then sort of use those materials on top of a shape. And we created this heart shape that we needed to go from a 2D shape to a 3D shape, and then put the material on top of that, and then make it actually move. That in this case, the beating, and then also the unfolding to the warm heart. And then at the end, the final part is the outro part, where you actually take the final image and you move it to many different kind of images that are your sort of graphic, well, what you want to sort of have at the end of your video, whether it would be a logo or a text or anything else. So I'm thinking that we're going to have these sort of live generations. The idea is to have them weekly, and we are not sure exactly what day, so it depends. But if you're in our Discord, we will send out a reminder through the announcement channel, weekday or weekday live, and feel free to join us there and ask us questions. We're also going to have, we have the WEEKDAI chat channel where you can ask questions beforehand, so we know what you're interested in and we can take that into account. So I guess that's it for today. Or do you want to say something at the end? We have a few minutes left.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, but glad to have you here, and hope to see you again next time.
Yeah, have a nice one.
Have a nice one. Bye.
Bye.